to the Dancing Bear Enlightenment Academy podcast, Holistic Transformation. Today we have a wonderful friend guest, Dr. Tanya English. She is a soul chiropractor. And if you've been to our summit, you might remember her from the last summit. She has been helping women break free from emotional blocks, known or unknown, to achieve a life of enjoyment and peace. She is known as the Soul Chiropractor. But don't be fooled by that. She also heals people online. You don't even have to be in person. So today she's going to talk to us about, is hope keeping you stuck? Welcome, Dr. Tanya.
Thank you so much, Dr. Beverly Lawrence. It's great to be with you today.
Oh, we always enjoy talking to you. So tell us about hope.
We do. We can go on and on.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I picked hope is because that's the theme for the month. I have a theme each month. Last month was revelation. This month is hope. And the reason why I picked that is because I just asked, show me what's there for me. Show me what I can do throughout the year to do this, to have a theme so that I can really dive into it deeper. And hope for me is, the question for me about hope is, if I'm hoping for something, does that mean I think it'll happen or I don't think it'll happen? I mean, why do I have to hope something instead of just being in the energy of it and letting it show up?
Mm-hmm.
It's quite different. So if I hope it will rain, but I don't take my umbrella with me, does that mean I don't really think that my hope is real? My asking for something that I really want, is it real? I hope I get that amount of money this month. Well, I have to work for that. So it's really not about hope. I hope my child who lives thousands of miles away is doing okay. But that's having me enter into this doubt that he's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, what I do, instead of hoping for stuff or hoping that things will work out or hoping that that person gets well, is I visualize them surrounded in a golden, beautiful light directly from source. And that I might picture Jesus standing next to them with his arm around them saying what a great job they're doing. I try to make it a very visual experience because that's in the now. Hope is something in the future. It's kind of like worry. It's real closely related to worry. So I hope that he's okay means I might be worried that he's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that also puts out into the future something that you don't know or believe is going to happen. We know, you and I know, that it's not see it and believe it, it's believe it and see it.
Right.
So where's the hope there? And I really feel like so many people have kind of misused hope, because there's that phrase that people say, oh, you don't want to give them false hope. Like this person could be well from this terrible disease. They're saying that because most people have a terrible outcome from this disease. So giving somebody false hope means you're just leading them down this path where they won't actually have what's going to happen. But what if that's okay? So my story is from about almost 30 years ago. Next year, it'll be 30 years, was the stillbirth that I experienced with my first child. And I was in chiropractic college. I was just finishing up. I had been a massage therapist for several years, decided to go to chiropractic school, was doing everything right. And then it took a turn for the worse, and our son was stillborn. I mean, we went to the hospital. We were having the baby at home. The midwives we were with had never had a problem like this before. I was overdue. No big deal. Lots of people overdue. Labor didn't kind of set up very well. So it was like off and on. Lots of people have had that. It was like there was nothing unusual. And then we found that his heart wasn't beating. So we went to the hospital, and the MD that met us there told us that we'd been led down the garden path by those midwives.
Oh,
I was
God.
like, well, they've delivered hundreds of babies without this ever happening. How about you? Right? Can you say the same? So we took her off the case and we had another doctor come in and help us with this birth. And as I'm lying there in bed thinking, what have I done to deserve this? What the heck is happening? You know, and then feeling like, well, if I'm supposed to count all things joy, that's what I'm told. That's what's in the scripture. Count it all joy. Where's the joy? Where's the joy in this? So I had a mission to set about to find where the joy was. How can any of this be good? Because I kept saying, oh, I believe everything happens to the highest good. Oh, really? Now do you believe everything happens to the highest good? So that's where I was at. And I looked to my left and there's my husband sitting there suffering through the same experience in a different way, but supporting me, loving me, nurturing me, helping me to live, really, because I think they overdrugged me. And he was going, take a breath, honey, because I'd exhale and then I wouldn't breathe. And I was like, oh, do I have to breathe in? So much work, right? So he's watching me, trying to make sure I'm keep breathing. And he's loving me through this. He's not throwing up his hands and walking away. He's right there with me. My sister-in-law, right there with me. I live far away from my family. And my in-laws, his parents were there. And they didn't know if they could get through it. His dad was really like, I don't know if I can do this. But his mother's like, oh, we're going in there. They're both pastors, by the way.
Mm.
And Quaker pastors.
Oh, Quaker.
So, yeah, and I'm Quaker too. And so we believe there is that of God in every person. That's the big dogma of Quakerism. There isn't any dogma. That's it. And so keep it simple, right?
I have a friend that's a Quaker.
So this tradition is keeping it simple, and also to understand that everybody dies. I only know one or two people that came back, right? And then they went to heaven. But
I know people that have reincarnated, and I know who they are.
Exactly. I mean, here's the thing is like, we're all going to die. It's really not as big a deal as we make of it. Is it sad? Is it tragic? Yeah. Oh yeah. But is it the worst thing that can ever happen to you? Only if you're so attached to someone that you have lost your identity as yourself. Because I thought of him and my other child and my two bonus daughters as gifts given to me that I'm to take care of for a while and then they go.
Right.
So I don't have that super attachment. Do I miss them? They all live far away. Yes, I do miss them. I think about them often.
Taught you how to grieve.
Well, the other thing is that the grief part of it, I saw people in grief that never came out of it. And I was like, I don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
And I hadn't thought about really having more children, but we did. And in between that baby and my son, who's now 20, almost 28, I had a miscarriage in there. And I had a miscarriage afterwards too. So I'm like, okay, that's enough. I'm not sharing my body with anybody else anymore. That's it. And I never got pregnant again. Not because I didn't try or not try. I just didn't get pregnant. I wasn't trying in the first place. So the fact is that we can make decisions for ourselves. We can decide that we can find the good. Seek and you'll find. What are you seeking? Ask yourself, what are you seeking? Are you hoping that it's going to be okay? Are you just saying it's going to be okay?
Yeah.
Is it just a knowingness? So get into the energy of knowing it, that it's going to be okay. We always talk about this when we're talking about goals too. Like if I want to make a certain amount of money every month, are you in the energy of making that? Or are you still in the energy of, oh, I can't quite make it. I don't know when it's going to happen. And sometimes that happens. We all go back and forth. in our life with believing something will happen, then not having that much belief, and then, oh no, I got it revved up again. I feel really good about it. And that happens. That's just the ebb and flow of life. The hoping part, we have to be careful about that. It can easily turn into worry. It can easily turn into doubt. The hope part is that things, if you're seeking ask yourself what you're seeking. Are you seeking the good? Are you seeking the joy in every interaction? Are you seeking what can I add to this? What can I give to this? What am I receiving from this? We've been having this conversation for a little while, and I'm asking myself, what is it that Dr. Beverly's going to say to me today that's going to affect me, that's going to hit me in my heart? And that's the way I like to go into conversations with people, because maybe she might be telling me about herself, but she might be talking about me too at the same time. So how can
What
we
I
take
try to do when I talk to people, it's interesting you say that because it's something that just happened, but I try to stay connected 24/7.
Mhm.
Now, the first time I did that, I was exhausted by the end of the day. I was like, oh my God, this is work. But when you start doing it all the time and you catch yourself disconnected, I reconnect. And so whenever I'm talking to people, a lot of times what comes out of my mouth did not come from my head. It
That's
came
right.
through me.
That's
And I
exactly
may not
right.
even remember what I said.
Right.
And I was talking to someone that I just did a podcast with, just like this. And she emailed me back and she said, what you said to me left me so impacted. It's amazing what I got out of it. And I don't even know what I said.
I'll be talking to somebody and I'll say something and I'll go, "Ooh, that was so good. I got to write that down." Because I'm saying it, but it's coming from beyond me. We all
Yeah,
have that wisdom. This
yeah,
brain is an antenna. It's a transmitter and a receiver. And if we keep putting ourselves in the mode of receiving, we'll receive. And when I'm working with somebody on my table here, I'm in receiving
receive.
mode. When I'm working with somebody online, I'm in receiving mode for what source is giving me, what they're giving me. How can these two things intersect so that we can blow it up, man? So that we can have that revelation, the epiphany. I'm so addicted to it. I love it when people
Yeah,
have, I feel so different. I didn't know those things were connected. I mean, even
yeah,
talking about it now, I start getting goosebumps. But it's like, what? How, so that means like this is all for me instead of to me.
yeah,
Yes, it's all happening for me. It's
yeah.
all happening for us.
Mhm.
It's not happening to us.
This is our training
So
ground.
yeah, so if I mean you can go from there, but if you just keep it like that simple, things are happening for us, not to us. People in our lives come in for us, not to do something to us. Yes, there are people that do that. There are people that live like that. They're on TV. Those are called dramas. Those are called soap operas. Those are called dramas. And it's so funny when you get a more heightened view of those things and you understand that everything's happening for us. Like I'll watch one of those shows and I'm like, now, if they had just done this and said that and been honest, then they would have. But writers don't write like that. They want to bring up the drama. So,
Oh, the drama.
it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be a drama. Save the drama for your mama. That's what we say.
Wait,
You
mama.
don't need it. You don't need it.
No, nobody needs drama. It's just,
So hope is we always say here at our house, hope springs in turtles, and if turtles can have hope, boy, so can I. And this is part of
well,
the joy.
like I was telling you ahead of time, when I was studying Taoist ascension practices, they said one of the things you have to let go of is hope because it takes you out of being in the moment. So talk about that a little.
Puts you in the future. Things, first of all, healing doesn't happen in the future or the past. It happens in the now.
Mhm.
So when you have a subconscious emotional memory that is keeping you stuck in the past, remember what I said. I'm going to say it slower. It's a subconscious, not conscious, subconscious emotional. So there's a physiology to it, emotional memory. Your body's memorized this. subconscious it, put it underneath so you can't see it. You don't know that it's happening, and it's changing your physiology. That's stuff from the past. When you start clearing that stuff up, which is what I do with my clients when I'm doing energy healing, or even if they're coming in here, I'm doing some energy healing here too. When you start clearing that stuff up, then you're in present time. Now, your body doesn't have to do all those layers of patterns that you've memorized as a child trying to cope and go along to get along, because who knows who you are. We were talking about that earlier. There are people who have been brought up by people who are not mentally well, and they had to learn how to deal with this non-mentally well or mentally ill adult as a child. So you develop coping mechanisms, and they don't work for the rest of your life. At some point, they're not going to work. Shutting people out only works for a certain amount of time. Pressing down your anger only works for a certain amount of time. And then it starts affecting everything. So you want to be in the now to clear that stuff up. And then you can hope for stuff all you want, but why not just manifest it instead? Why not just get in the energy of it instead? You know, you don't have to work at, when you're pregnant, making the baby's liver. You don't have to do that.
No.
Like if it had been up to me, I would have made blood and then went, oh, darn, forgot to make blood vessels. Shoot. What a mess.
Capillaries are too small.
We don't, yeah, oh, darn, I should have made those, right? So we don't have that. That's the miracle of who we are. And it's constant. It's not just when you're in the womb being made, it's happening all the time. That's called metabolism. Mine's really slow right now, but that's also something that I can work on. It doesn't have to be a negative. It can be like, oh, that's happening, so that I'll pay attention to the fact that, and here's my thing, I can take care of myself. I have everything I need. I don't need somebody from out there to tell me how to do it, or they can share it with me and I can learn new things. There's nothing wrong with that, but I'm going to do it.
Only you can't do it. No one can do it for you.
That's right.
They can only educate you.
And I'm worthy of taking care of myself. I'm important enough to put me at the top of my list. I'm important enough. Let me say it again for those of you who didn't hear that right. Put your hand over your heart. I am worthy of taking care of me. It's so important that we do that. Did you feel that? I felt that.
Well, until your glass is full, you can't help anyone else. And if you don't love yourself, how can you ever love anyone else? Because it has to start at home first, inside.
Yeah, and I did a whole bunch of work before I moved out here to Iowa, where I live now. And I was living on the East Coast, and I moved out to Iowa to go to chiropractic school, and I knew my life was going to change. And I met my husband about a year after I moved here. And I was like, oh, this is the real deal. This is what's happening. And when that happened, I had done a lot of work to release old relationships from my life so that I could have what I want. I made a list of what I wanted in the person, forgot to write down trust fund. Oh dear. But it's okay. But I made it so that I had to be that list. Yeah. So this is what I tell people: write the list of what you want, and then now you be it. You be the list. You do the things on that list that you want somebody else to be, because like attracts like. Yeah. And it's so simple. So I found a great guy, very loving. We've been together for over 30 years now, 32 years. Nice. And it's a decision every day. But it's a good decision. It's a good decision. And, you know, when you have that and you have that in your life, it's great to be able to say that and have that and nurture it and love it and know that that's like a good, really, really core part of my life. Mm-hmm. But I'm the center of my life. Source is the center of me. You got to get your priorities straight. And if you're looking for drama, you'll find it. If you're looking for how life is not treating you well, you can find that too. I can do it right now. I can go through the litany of all the crap, right? Everybody can. And another thing, and this and this and this. But that's not helping. That's what my son calls the spiral of shame. No thanks.
Shame.
The spiral of shame. I'm not going on there again.
Yeah, no.
But we can turn it around really easily. And it's all about what you're seeking. And if you want to hope for something, that's great. Hope for it, but don't leave it at hope. That's just like a step to knowing it, knowing that he's okay. Oh, if something happens to him, he lives in Atlanta. I live in Iowa, my son. If something happens to him in Atlanta, it's going to take me at least a day to get to him. Right. So, what can I do? I can send him good thoughts. I can cover him in golden healing energy. I can see his sparkling countenance whenever I close my eyes. I can call him. I can video chat with him. All the technology we have now to communicate with each other. And, it's amazing. And if that happens, I hope it doesn't. That's my hope, that nothing happens, but I don't dwell on.
You
Where did
just
we leave off?
froze. So you were, well, we had a little freeze moment, so we're
Yeah. So I
restarting.
think I was saying, like, if something happens to my son, he's at least a day away for me to get to him. Right. So I'm not going to hope that he's okay. I'm going to cover him in golden light. I'm going to see him being okay. I'm going to imagine him being okay. I'm going to think loving thoughts of him and successful thoughts for him. I'm not going to dwell on, I hope he's okay, because that means that I'm also thinking he's not. Right.
What I do is I try to do everything in the framework of gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
like every day I pray and I say, thank you for blessing and protecting all my friends and all my family, past, present, and future. And so I try to frame everything not in hope or whatever, but in total gratitude. Thank you for the day. Thank you that the sun came out. Thank you for the clouds. Thank you for the rain.
Yeah.
Thank you
And if you
for
are
whatever.
thankful for things you don't have yet or things that are not yet seen, you're making a space for it to drop into your life. Thank you. Thank you so much for the amazing trip I'm going to have in a few weeks. Thank you so much that went so smoothly. And we got to see everybody we wanted to see, and we got to hold new babies, all those things. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing to be able to do that because you're visualizing it. Basically, you're putting your order in.
Mhm.
And then you just wait. What I say is, like, you go to a place where you know the chef and they make amazing food and they say, this is what's on the menu. And then you say, I'll have that. And then you just go, okay, it's coming.
Waiting for
They're
the waiter
making it
to
right
deliver
now.
it.
I can hardly wait. That's what you do for everything in life.
To me, the hard part is waiting.
The waiting part, expectant waiting. I always tell my patients and my get the word expectancy when I tell them, I want you to think of a positive feeling of expectancy. I'm like tomorrow's your birthday and you're having a big party and all your friends are coming and you're 7 years old and you're having a great time. Because when you're little, like 7, you get excited for those things and you're like, oh, how many more sleeps until Christmas Day? Right. So you want that kind of like, it's coming. Oh, I can't wait. That's a beautiful thing.
That's how I feel about a lot of things right now because I'm
Me
like,
too.
I want world peace. I've been praying for world peace almost every day of my life, and we're almost there. We're almost there.
Just got to deal with some personalities. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, there's so much good stuff happening that is not being talked about in mass media. There's many good things.
yeah,
So if you kind of travel in the circles that Dr. Beverly and I kind of travel with online too, people say, oh, I hate Facebook. I'm like, well, what are you letting in? What are you allowing? Just go to the places where people are doing great things. Go to
yeah,
places where you can help. Go to places where people are being enlightened. How about that? Go to
yeah.
places where people pray. Go to places where people want to be around spirit. Then it's just like an avalanche of good. that's
Yeah, I
going.
have some awesome groups I'm in.
Yeah, me too.
One of them, they don't even speak English. I'm not sure what the language is, but he posts the most amazing photographs from all over the world, animal picture, mostly animals, but it could be buildings, it could be people.
Oh, and
And I
there's so
don't
much
even,
funny stuff on there too.
oh,
If you
it's
need a
funny. Yeah.
laugh, oh my gosh, I saw a dog video the other day that just had me in tears. I laughed so hard. So, I mean, what are you looking for? Seek and you'll find. That's the end of that. Hope is a thing that can take you right out of the present. But what are you seeking in your life? What are you seeking for others? Let it be something good. Count it all joy. And then you'll look for the joy.
Yeah, I
How's
don't
the
worry
joy?
too much about the negative people because I don't let them in. I've been on podcasts where people complain, oh, this person said this in chat, and they go on and on and on. And I don't do that. You give me crap in chat, you're blocked. Period. No question. You're gone.
I also think though that we can learn from other people in their negativity to see where they're really hurting, because that's showing us where their fear is when they're negative. It
They're
shows
hurting.
us where their fear
Some
is,
not
where their
everybody
fear
in
is.
is
No, I
hurting.
mean
They're
the
just
fact
being
is that
nasty.
a lot of those are just bots. They're not real either.
Bots.
They're
Yeah.
not real people. So what we want to do is make it so that we're in places where people can speak their mind and they might go negative, but we can have the conversation
Yeah, that's different.
and
Yeah.
and then you can let it go. But yeah, I don't use the word hate very often, unless it's like something
Yeah, I don't
I
that's
don't
not a
like the
word I
taste
would
of.
use very often either.
There are people that say, "Oh, I just hate that," and I'm like, then it must be something in you that you don't like too, because we
Right.
see in others what we see in ourselves. We see in the
Right.
world what we're bringing in. What do I my teacher, Dr. MT Mortar Jr., who developed bioenergetic synchronization technique, that's the main technique that I use, um, said, if you could just be as dumb as a tree, they don't try, they just be a tree. If you can do that and just be, that's being present. And
Mhm.
it makes life a lot easier
Did you know
and more
trees
exciting.
have a nervous system? They're
Oh
actually
yeah.
intelligent. You can talk to them.
Yeah, I was doing some theta healing with my teacher who taught me theta healing, and she said, I have a plant in the backyard. I'm not going to tell you anything about it, and I want you to go in and find out, what's going on with it. And so she's far away in another state. We're on Zoom, and I said, oh, I got that. It's like saying, oh, I don't look like much now, but wait, I am going to just go crazy soon. And she said, it's a bulb. And this bulb every year creates incredible vines. And right now it looks like it's dead, but it's not. I was like, well, see,
Nice.
I knew it. So that's a gift that I have, but it's also something that you can hone and learn and use for
Teach it
your
in my
highest good.
classes.
Yeah, it's easy
Yeah.
to do. It's
Yeah.
not that hard.
No.
Just stop editing
Well,
out all the stuff that you're discarding.
clean this out
Mm-hmm.
and stop all that monkey mind crap.
Yep. And that's why the work that I'm doing with people helps do that, helps clean all that stuff out. So you're not going into doubt mode about what you're receiving, which is what most people do. Oh, it
Well,
can't be that.
I didn't
Discard.
tell you about when I was pregnant. I'd had 4 miscarriages. And when I got pregnant with my daughter, the doctor said, don't tell anyone you're pregnant because you're going to miscarry. And I had my period the first 5 months. And at 5 months, he said, well, I guess you're going to have to start telling people because you're going to start to show. And I sat down on the couch and I said, I spoke to my daughter and I said, okay, are you healthy? And are you a boy? I want to know if it was a boy or a girl, because this was way before they did uh, sonograms or whatever they do to find out the sex of your baby. And
Mhm.
she said, I'm a girl and I'm healthy. Don't worry about me. I said, oh, okay. And that was it. We were done, and then she was
Excellent.
born.
Yeah.
And that's what you can do when you clear
It's
your mind.
amazing what we can, yeah, it's amazing what you can find out if you just stop the chatter that's going on.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's nice to have chatter outside of you, but not inside. We talk about that mean girl committee that's in the back of the mind. We want to put her in
Mean
her
Girl
place
Committee.
and give her a new job. Yeah, the mean girl that's in the back of your mind that says, "Oh, you're so this, and you'll never amount to that," and the one that's
Oh,
like, "You're not good enough for this." That one.
well, that was my dad. I
And what
got
we
rid of
do
that
in
crap a long time
healing.
ago.
Yeah. Well, good for you. A lot of people haven't done that yet. And what happens when we do that, that clearing up of that voice that's telling you no, you can't, we actually give it a new job and have it be something that looks out for joy in your life.
Oh, I just
Let it
turned
be
it
the
into a
joy
joke.
GPS.
I try to turn everything into a joke.
Mhm. That's another way of doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's some of the transformational work that we do at Quantum Healing International.
Quantum Healing International, huh?
Yeah.
I keep
And healing
writing
with
all
the
the different
blues.
things you do down.
Yeah, I have a blues band. We do blues healing too. Blues music's a healer, so I've been healing with the blues for the last 12 years with my band, and we're playing at the Mississippi Valley Blues Fest. Well, we did. When this airs, we will have already played for the second time there, and playing around this area locally, and it's really fun to have people identify with the blues.
Instrument do you play?
I'm a vocalist.
Oh, you're a
I
vocalist.
sing, healing with the blues. That's
Oh,
right, I'm healing with the blues. I've got nothing left to lose.
this
That's
is
why I'm
my
healing
instrument.
with the blues.
Mine's more Native American.
Oh, I have one of those hanging up on the wall there. Yeah,
Oh, this is
yeah, I do
my
that.
flute.
Well,
I
thank you
like
so
to,
much for today. It's been so great to talk to you.
yeah. It's always great to connect with you. We can talk forever. So hope everybody got their information on hope. And guess what? Dr. Tanya has a free gift. It's the Powerful Personal Affirmation audio, and it comes with a PDF file. So normally I read the name of the link. I'm going to post it down below because it's complicated. So if you're listening to the podcast, you want to go to keep.page, KEAP.page /O0933. So the O
No,
is
/OZ, the letters
OZ. I said
OZ,
zero, didn't I?
933 /the hyphen pp hyphen affirmation.html.
Okay, she said it better. I said zero and it's Z is OZ933 /the dash pp dash affirmation.html. Like I said, the link will be down below.
Yeah.
And you can get your personal affirmation audio and PDF file. So do you have any closing word for us, Dr. Conrad?
Let's see. I'm thinking, um, well, words are great, but worried blues, you don't know my mind. Worried blues, you don't know my mind. 'Cause when you see me laughing, I'm laughing to keep from crying. A lot of people walking around like that, so be
Oh,
kind.
yeah,
Be kind.
absolutely. Hiding
Much
all
love,
their pain.
many
Well, thank
blessings.
you for
Thank
being
you.
with us on our spontaneous podcast today.
Yeah.
And everyone, remember to be the light you want to see in the world.
Thank you.